Happy Sunday, folks. Billy here again, and today I am going to be using this single piece of 4x2. Now, looks like there's a few pieces here, but it was one length, and I had to sort of cut it down for storage. But it's actually a length. I think it were a 4.8 metre originally, something like that. It was near enough to that, but it was a length of 4x2. So the build I'm going to do today is, I was a bit apprehensive for doing this. I was going to put this off. I just thought it may be a bit out of my league just at the minute, because of the technicality of it and having to wrap my head round certain aspects of the build. For a proper joiner, furniture maker, carpenter, that type of ilk, it's probably super easy. But for someone like me, beginner hobbyist, I thought, you know what? I thought, I am going to push it. I'm going to try it. And if it goes wrong, I'm going to show it on the video, warts and all. But in the end, the video sort of turned out not too bad. The end result turned out not too bad. Was I 100% happy with it? Not really, because I'm never 100% happy with anything. But I'm proud of what I made here, yes. I certainly am. I'm well happy, over the moon in that respect, because it just showed me now, with more practice and more practice and more practice, that I can actually go ahead and do these things. And that same goes for you. If there's a project out there, just go for it. Just have a go at it. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Don't worry about it. You're going to learn from them mistakes. I've learned a lot, a hell of a lot from this project, believe me. Now, there's a whole host of things about cutting, measuring, proportions, wood choice. I mean, my wood choice is obviously Pioneer, because I'm not going to, if I made this out of solid oak or solid walnut or what, it'd cost me an absolute fortune. And I'm not going to spend that money while I'm in this learning phase. I've never made one of these before. I made something similar, but this is a little bit different to what I did. And what I try to do is put my stamp on it, put my design, my people will know it's mine. You'll get what I mean when you see the video at the end. So I ask you all the time, let me know where you're all from, and do drop us comments in what you think of the final result of what I'm making here. Now, bear in mind, this is a 4x2. I'm going to mill it all up from this, and you'll see this. There's no other wood apart from that one length of 4x2. So I'm just going in here with a miter saw and just sort of rough cutting everything down to sort of the sizes I think I need. Everything is in my head. I've got the design and I can see the design in my head, but actually getting it down and getting it made a total different thing. So I'm just going in here with my DeWalt saw. Now I'm trying to get some 4x4 centimetre sections cut for this initially. I'm just going to take off the rounded edges just to make life a lot easier. Is there any specific reason to do this? Probably. It just makes it a lot easier to cut and mill up the wood, and it just, for accuracy, it just makes a little bit of a difference. I need a zero clearance plate there, so if there's any suggestions in the comments where I can get one ready made, I can try and make one, but I don't feel my skill level yet is probably good enough for that. Will I try and make one? Most definitely, yeah. But will it go right? I've no idea. But just as I need one sort of rapidly for some of these really thin cuts, I need that. So let me know in the comments where I can get one. I think I can get one Amazon, but if there's any sort of small local business that maybe makes these that I can show a bit of support to myself, I don't mind paying a little bit extra money for something, as long as it's a small independent business. That's the way I roll, and that's the way I'm going to work. So anyway, I'm just going to go through here. Now this, I'm just marking off, and I'm just making these sort of lap joint cuts, whatever you want to call them. I still don't know what the full name is. Just 1 second, I'm just going to have a slurp of my coffee. No fancy editing here, as you can see. Currently, this is Sunday morning while I'm doing this voiceover. I've got Stanley sat next to me, fast asleep, enjoying life. So I'm just going in here with a saw, just making sure I get these sort of near enough right. This is a joint I've been practicing You've probably seen it on a few of the other videos. And it's all about practice and making perfect, isn't it? So here's a dry fit. It's a chair come stool. As you all know, Shelley pinched me stool the other week and used it as a plant stand. So I thought this time I'm going to make a chair for outside here, and she's not get pinched this one. So I'm going to put her back on it. So this is just a dry fit, just to make sure everything was okay. So it's just about gluing everything. Now the technicality was getting all them cuts the right way round, and obviously for me it was mind bending, getting sort of numbers right and dimensions right. It was sort of like it, I know practice will make perfect on it, and you get some people that'll just look at a piece of wood and it automatically seems to cut itself. Well, it's not the case with me. Look at him watching down there. So quite a bit of glue. Get the glue on all the surfaces. I've done away with that little spatula thing there. It wasted time that was. Got my finger in here. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you would. It would massively, massively help. Comment and share. And I'm going to be loading stuff onto my membership section. And I've got a super thanks there. So you've got all them that you can support me. Now here's where I'm seeing I've made a few mistakes. Now I'm just screwing these in here because just for a bit of decoration, I'm going to be putting sort of mahogany plugs over here. So I just thought would I have needed these screws in? I don't know. Would the glue have been strong enough? I don't know. But I just thought I'd screw it anyway because I want to put them plugs in. I thought I might as well put a screw in while I'm at it. It might add for the support. And I mean, I'm not the smallest of people. I'm not exactly light, am I? And that's another point. I'm going to be going on a diet, so any hints and tips, diet suggestions, all that is part of the healthy lifestyle thing. As a few of you know, I stopped smoking a good few years back, and I don't drink no more. And it's just a part of an healthy lifestyle thing. So here's one of the mistakes, design changes, I should say, I'm cutting off. That was them just two front sections. I just cut them. I should have cut the things a bit higher. Now I'm going in freehand here with a jigsaw to put a taper in because I haven't got a tapering jig yet, so I'm just taking it nice and slow. Now I know this ain't going to be perfect, but the final result you can't really tell, and I was really happy the way it come out. So you'll see at the end. I'm just going over cleaning everything up with a router. Now the reason I've not sanded first and pre-stained is because I'm leaving this clear. I'm going to put some clear lacquer on at the end. It's just for outside. I like a nice light colour when I'm making stuff. Shelley's different from me. She likes staining everything and making colours and all that kind of thing, which is nice. But sometimes I like this look, this raw sort of bleached look to furniture. It just looks nice, I think. So anyway, I'm just going over all the frame here. I'm just going to route it. Now I am going to get myself a cordless router. So any suggestions? I've been looking at the Makita one, not the Makita one, the DeWalt one with the extra base, the little 1/4 inch trim router. So yeah, let me know what you think. I'm just marking here for the seat in the back. So every section's going to be screwed, glued, and I'm going to put these mahogany plugs in. So 1 centimetre in, I'm going here. And one of the other things I found here, even though I've pre-drilled this and countersunk for countersinks, little bits do chip off the odd bit on the end. So that's another learning curve. Maybe when I'm making the next one, I will look to do things slightly different. I'm probably too close to the edge here. And when I'm driving them screws in, maybe I'm driving them in too tight, or maybe I don't need to screw. But what was in my head here was, I'm going to be sitting on this, so I need it as strong as I can. So yeah, now it's time for a 120 grit sand over to just go over it all, just get it down a bit, because there's a few more steps to it yet. The weather's getting colder here in the UK. We just had, like as I'm doing this last night, we've had severe thunderstorms. Oh, the sky was lit up everywhere. But yeah, just nice and sand it, nice and easy. Take your time. there's no rush with this project, but technically I don't know where to stand with it, because I don't know if the structure, design, how I've done it, I try to do this to a look, if that makes sense, because I like the look of it. I like the thought of this look. It's a bit different from the conventional, with the two sort of stretchers going over the front, the way I've put them. Is that right? Is that wrong? What's the right way? What's the wrong way? I don't know. I just go for a look, and as long as it's strong enough for me, and it holds my weight. So these are two old antique mahogany chair legs that the furniture was beyond repair, and I keep things like this, and I'm just going to make some plugs with it. So you've got pieces of 100-year-old furniture going into modern furniture that I'm doing, and it fits with my ethos of trying to recycle stuff and, you know, good for the environment. Don't get me wrong, I'm no tree hugger or anything like that, but I just think all these little steps, we can all do our bit to help, and little things make big things, don't they? So I'm just going in here with glue, and I like that. I like the way the joints show there. I don't, you know, the lap joint things, the half lap joints and stuff. I just wanted to show that on design, just to, so I can look at it and check my mistakes. Now, some of them were cut a little bit wrong. They're all nice and tight, but there were sort of like some gaps at the front of it and stuff. I'm just going in here with my little jigger made. You've seen that on the other video. And what I did is I got a mixture of glue and sawdust and just went into some of the gaps to tidy it up. And it come out nice. So I'm just nice and easy there. It doesn't half make a difference, this little jig. Just sometimes I find it difficult sawing away from it. I don't know whether it's due to my arthritis and my wrists and stuff. But I find, so the jig really does help. There's no postman today, Stanley. So here's where I'm going in. Maybe I'm going in too tight with these screws. Maybe I should sort of like ease off a little bit as I'm going in. But I get the odd little chip out on the ends. I don't know if you will see it on the videos. But it's okay. It's a shop stool. And the more I'm making this, the more I'm thinking, do I really want this for out here to sit on? It's sort of getting to me, and I'm starting to really like what I'm making here. You can see the little taper there on the back as it goes down. I didn't do it to any specific angle. I think the angle, what you should be doing, is between sort of 5 and 15 degrees. But I didn't think of that. I just done it to what I thought. So now I'm going over it all with a 180 grit sandpaper just to smooth it all out. Get it all nice and sort of down. And when I put the lacquer on, it pops the wood. So I'm just using basically a car lacquer here. I've used it before on things and it seems to work out well. I don't know if it's the right thing to use, but it's all I had to hand. And like I say, this is just for out here, so it makes no difference. It's going to be undercover here where I am, but if there's moisture in the air, I'm sure it'll protect it. Well, it protects cars, so it should protect this. So I'm just going over now, because it's raised the grain a little bit, that has. So I'm just going over with a 320 grit rub over all over it, just to get it down a little bit. Just take your time here, because this is like these finishing details you want to sort of like pay attention to. What I found is you do these little things and it bodes well. Oh, I've got a visitor. So here's another little trick I learned off watching YouTube, and just a bit of brown scrumpled paper and just go over it. It's had 2 coats of lacquer. Now I'm just going over it with this, which will make it super smooth and just give it a nice sheen. And this makes a massive difference. What a nice little tip that was that I picked up. Really like that tip. I mean, it's something I should know anyway from tidying up old antique furniture. And here's it's finished. So it's the shop still, but really, is it? I think it's too good, to be honest. I love it, and I've put my little design on it with the holes on it, as you can see. So people will know if, you know, sometime in the future, if I get really good at what I'm doing, somebody will know it's one of mine, hopefully. But I can look at this, I can look at the joints, I can look at what I've done, and then check to see what I could do differently. That little taper just goes in nice at the back there. Will it be comfortable? Well, I've tested it and it's comfortable enough. The little mahogany plugs, I think, pop it. Let me know in the comments what you think anyway, and we'll get on to the next project, which will be on, what are we on now? We're on Sunday, so it'll be Wednesday. I'm doing a project, I think, for my brother. See you Wednesday. Bye.